Good evening, boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. I would like to welcome any new subscribers, welcome back any current subscribers, and without further ado, let us get into the video. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about world premieres. Ducati had their world premiere launch of their 2020 bike range. A lot of people will be talking about the new V4, V4S, V4R, yada yada yada. As good looking as the V4R is, and the V4S, and the V4 in general, that is not what I'm interested in. I am interested in the new Panigale V2 because it's a bike I've been looking forward to for a long time. Starting with, what is the V2? Now, I'm going to throw up a picture of what it looks like, because a lot of people would have already seen it, but for those that haven't, it looks like this. The reason why I like it so much is as follows. Firstly, it looks like a baby V4, which is always a nice touch, because throughout the years, Ducati have made some very good middleweight bikes, going all the way back from the 748, the 848, not so much the 749 because it was kind of ugly. You know, the 999 lineup was kind of like the ugly duckling of the Ducati family, but that's a video for another day. The V2 is basically a 959 in a V4 skin. However, there are a few technical differences, and a few electronic differences as well. So the V2 breaks down like this. It's got a 955cc Super Quattro engine, producing somewhere in the region of 150 to 160 bhp, depending on, you know, obviously things like exhaust and power commanders and such like. But it claimed from Ducati 155 bhp. It's also got a lovely new TFT display, just like the V4s and the last generation 1299s, I believe. It's also got a lot of new electronic aids, like rider modes and stuff like that. The biggest thing for me, and for all those people that are Ducati purists like myself, they have finally put a single-sided swing arm on a middleweight bike. Now, don't get me wrong, the 899, the 959, I can understand why they put a double-sided swing arm on it, and apparently Ducati did it to try and coax the Japanese market away from Japanese bikes, with a sense of familiarity with having a double-sided swing arm. In my personal opinion, the middleweight class bikes, 899s, 959s, they just don't do it for me. I hate to say it. I mean, I am, like I say, I am a Ducati purist, but that double-sided swing arm just didn't do it for me. Otherwise I would have got an 899 over this. But I digress. Going back to the Panigale V2, I think they could have got a better name than V2. If they were going to put a different name on it, they should have called it a 959V or something. But, you know, can't really do much about it now, it's been done. But I love the fact that they put a single-sided swing arm on that bike. It just looks better. It looks mean, it looks aggressive, it looks fucking agile. You know, you get some people when they bring out middleweight class bikes that just look shit. Let's take Suzuki for example, and I'm not hating on Suzuki, I'm just using them as an example. Every middleweight bike they brought out, the GSXR 600, 750, you know, they all look the same. Apart from having a different engine displacement, they all look near enough identical. If you debadged them all, you'd never know the difference unless you looked at the engine casing where it says 750cc or 1000cc or something like that. I do really applaud Ducati for what they've done with the V2. I mean, I've not heard it, I've not heard what it sounds like. It has got, obviously got to meet the Euro 5 emissions, but that aside, boy, she's a lovely looking bike. And I'm actually toying with the idea of putting a deposit down on one after New Year, when they actually start being made available to the European market. So I believe the press bikes are being released in November for obviously for like publications like MCN and fucking Fast Bikes and all the other guys. I mean, no doubt 44 Teeth will probably get their hands on one as well at some point. Also, I've just had to point out that if you haven't seen it already, keep your eyes peeled for my my video on motorcycle security and what I think that manufacturers can do to help. Because no doubt, as people are aware, in the UK motorcycle theft is absolutely diabolically bad. So keep your eyes open for that. I'll drop a link to that in the info card at the end. Well, not info card, sorry, the end screen, should I say. Fucking hell, I'll get my terminology right in a minute. But yeah, going back to the 959, that's right, the Panigale V2. I honestly think that is going to be a very, very, very good bike. Also, another thing to quote about the V2, something which I think is quite nice. They've put Showa big piston forks on the front. They've also put in a Sachs mono shock or mono mount rear shock. Also, their standard exhaust for their bikes, it's still an underbelly exhaust, but it kind of, the end of it, like the actual last portion of the exhaust is swept upwards. So I personally think it's kind of cool looking, but like I say, until I hear what it sounds like, I can't really pass any judgment. I dare say it will sound very similar to the 959s, just with probably a slightly better exhaust tone. I can guarantee you that all the main brands like Akaprovic and Termignoni and SC Projects and Arrow and all the other guys that do good exhausts will have already looked into this. I dare say it wouldn't surprise me that if the engine is the same, who's to say that the current exhausts from the 959 fit? It might do, it might not. Only time will tell. I can honestly say that as a middleweight bike, it's going to be very, very tasty. I personally think it's got the right sort of power to get you out of trouble, like with torque and all the rest of it, so if you get caught at traffic lights and at junctions and whatever else. However, I do think it also has enough power and enough grunt and enough insanity about it to get you into trouble as well. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a good first sports bike for anyone, but likewise I wouldn't say it's the worst sports bike to have, because with all the electronic aids like wheelie controls, traction control, I believe it's also got a quick shifter or auto blipper up and down. I might be wrong on that, but please forgive me. Like I said, the bike's pretty new on the market, so not a lot of details have been released as yet. I'd love to know what your guys' opinions are on the V2. Would you get one? Would you not? Personally speaking, I probably will. Well, I'd like to if my budget allows. Also, the price of the bike is going to be roughly $14,995 or there or thereabouts, which is, in all fairness, for a Ducati is quite cheap, considering most new bikes these days, especially Italian bikes, you're looking 18-20 grand sometimes. I mean, for 15 grand you are getting quite a lot of bike for your money. So feel free to like, comment and subscribe as always, and as I always say, be good, be happy, be safe, and above all else, enjoy life. So for now, I will catch you on the next one. Adios!